So we just finished watching the episode 4 of Yashahime, and right now we're waiting for the end credits, but I have some thoughts. First of all, I'm pretty sure Shishomaru put Ren in the tree because she was dying from childbirth, and he decided not to let that happen. Second of all, have you seen anything about, have you seen Kami-sama Kiss?
Yes.
Have you seen all of it?
Yes.
So, just gonna, that doesn't work either. That works. Cat, stop it. Okay, that works too. Cat, I love you, but stop it. Alright, so in Kami-sama Kiss, in Kami-sama Kiss, Tomoe and his best friend from before he met Nanami was, hang on a minute. So we just saw the preview for the next episode. We'll get to that in a minute. As I was saying, in Kami-sama Kiss, Tomoe, him and his best friend are basically terrorizing the feudal era, and one rules the west and the other rules the east. Tomoe is a fox, and his friend is basically a wolf/dog. And I don't know much about Japanese mythology, but I'm pretty sure there's something like that in there. And I have a feeling that's what they're going to end up doing in this. And somehow they're like tied, and I'm not sure how. They're rivals, but we've never actually seen this demon before.
So, after his kids were born, he put them in their elaborate playpen forest. And then he went and walked the spirit world in mourning.
That's looking like what it is. Because, I mean, you saw him in the tree. He was there with Ren. And it looks like he has a choice. Either he lets his kids kill him, or he lets Ren die. And I'm not sure how that's tied. I mean, I knew that they were going to have to choose between their mom and their dad. I called that. But still, like, what is happening? So, yeah. What are your thoughts?
Miroku's alive.
Yeah, he was in the trailer.
I am happy that my theory that Myoga raised Moroha seems to have had some validity to it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think Satsuna's memories are not correct.
No, Satsuna's memories are definitely not correct.
I think she has no idea, like, at all who she is, or what she is, or where she's from.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's really weird, because, again, Moroha has heard of Shishomaru, and Inuyasha, and Kagome, to an extent of what we can tell.
But she doesn't know that she's related to them until she went to the modern era.
But she also doesn't seem to know whether Kagome is alive or dead, because all she said was, like, no, I don't really know her.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So that's an interesting thing.
So I know for a fact, Miroku, we know where Miroku is, sort of. We know where...
He's wandering around being perverted, I'm sure.
Definitely. We know, and it doesn't look like he's changed. Like, no. He doesn't age. And then we know where Shishomaru is. He's literally in the spirit world. Apparently refusing to leave Ren's side because even though he complained about his dad and Inuyasha having feelings for humans, he has it twice as bad.
No, he's being extra dramatic.
He's literally in the spirit world by her side while she's dying in a tree.
Well, okay, yeah.
And the Tree of Ages is so petty. The minute they refused to grant her wish, she was like, okay, well, here's the demon.
I mean, but then again, there was no way that a demon of that caliber was going to defeat those girls.
No.
It was a mild annoyance at best.
Definitely. Also, Moroha is very, very smart, and I'm scared for everyone involved.
Moroha is a very intelligent gremlin. It was just... And how did she get into a bag? Why did she has
Why did she get a bike into a bag? That's the biggest question.
Why? What is... She wouldn't even know what a bike was. Or did her mom just basically go and clean out all of Kagome's room and stick the entire room in there?
Probably. Let's be honest, that's something her mom would do. She wasn't able to give her daughter anything when she went over to the feudal era. Kagome just said, I'm going back home. She's like, okay, be safe. I love you. Maybe I'll see you again in the afterlife. And then she just jumped with nothing.
Yeah, I think that we're right about... I think that we're going to be right about Rin dying basically in childbirth, because there is that whole thing about the birthing kimono.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense.
I think somehow Sesshomaru got her into the Tree of Ages to preserve her life. And...
needed his way out with the twins.
Yeah.
Stuck them in a forest that apparently was very safe.
Maybe he made a deal with the other demon. Maybe the other demon has more spiritual power than Sesshomaru does.
That's possible.
And that's why they're not connected. And through the demon, he was able to save Rin, but at a cost. Maybe he made a contract with him. Because as powerful as Sesshomaru is, he doesn't necessarily have spiritual power.
No.
I mean, no demon really does. Cat. Either way, this is tied back to Rin and trying to save her.
Yeah.
And I love how the girls, it wasn't like a typical, yeah, let's go on an adventure thing. It's like, you're asking us to choose to kill our dad for a demon to save the world. He's our dad. Even though we don't know him, how can you ask us that? We say no. Reject your request. Hey, kitty.
Your cat has crazy eyes.
She's about to go into heat again. But yeah.
It answered no questions.
None. Except maybe where Sesshomaru is.
Yeah, but walking around in the spirit world with Kikyo's avatar does not really answer anything.
No.
Also, what kind of power did Kikyo have where she just managed to affect the way the Tree of Ages was shaped?
Well, let's be honest. Okay, Kikyo bound Inuyasha with her arrow to the tree, and then her reincarnation is the one who not only pulled out the arrow, but also continuously jumped in and out of a bone made from the tree, of a well made from the tree. And the only people who really interacted with it were Kagome and Inuyasha, and through Kagome is Kikyo. So if it wasn't Kikyo, it would have been Kagome. So that gives me hope that Kagome is alive.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it would have been more realistic for it to be Kagome that is telling that the Tree of Ages decided to see than Kikyo.
We didn't get any more information on the pearls, so whether or not that is the main characters in the pearls, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what this little raccoon character is going to be.
Yeah. I think they're all going to be female. I don't think the raccoon's going to be a dude.
It doesn't look like a dude. It looks like a little girl.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what her role is going to serve in the story.
No idea.
Besides comic relief. And also, where's Jockin? I don't like that little green thing, but I need to know where he is.
He raised Satsuna. That's how come she lost her memories, because he's not very good at raising kids.
Also, can we appreciate the consistency with Sesshomaru and music? Okay, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but in Inuyasha, Rin is always singing about being with Sesshomaru, and he kind of just lets her. He's just like laying there in the breeze, just listening to her sing. The woman who fell in love with Sesshomaru played the flute, and he kind of liked the flute, which is why he stood downwind and always listened to her play the flute. Sesshomaru genuinely is a theater kid, basically. He loves music. And now his daughter is a violin prodigy.
I'm going to make a theory that has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. Due to them dressing up Satsuna and then talking about how good she looks in her dress, I think that's going to be a reoccurring reoccurring comic gag. That they're going to dress Setsuna up in things and call her pretty, and she's going to hate it.
Definitely.
Also, when she was shaking her fist at the camera, I was just convinced that she was actually flipping them off. So.
But yeah.
Setsuna has some sort of affinity with music, which is interesting.
Yeah. She's not very powerful in terms of demonic energy.
No, especially considering she apparently was raised in the feudal era, fully aware of her demonic energy.
And it looks like in the preview for Moroha, whenever she goes more demonic, because that's going to happen in the next episode, you saw that at the end, she basically turns into a full-grown adult. Gets lengthier and taller. So that should be interesting.
That should be very interesting.
I mean, she's not as crazy as Inuyasha was, because he go fully demonic. She's still a quarter human. Or no, a quarter demon. So she's only going half demon. She's gonna bite you. Or not. But yeah. Interesting.
She never lets me pet her.
Yeah. Except when she's about to go into heat. She usually hides for a while, for like a week and a half, and then she goes into heat, and then she wants all the cuddles.
It's the only time she puts up with me.
She's always under your bed.
Yeah, cursing me.
She's not cursing you.
She is 100% trying to put a curse on me.
No, she's not.
She hates me.
She doesn't hate you. She just doesn't like to be pet.
She doesn't trust me.
She doesn't trust you when I'm not here. Now that I'm back, she's like, oh, this is fine. But that being said,
she blames me anytime you're not here.
That is true. But that doesn't mean she hates you. She just has a mild discomfort over you.
Mild discomfort.
That being said, I just appreciate the consistency with Shishomaru being tied to music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hadn't really noticed the music motifs and the people that got close to him.
Yeah. Ren is always singing songs she made up about staying with Shishomaru. That one woman played the flute. Kagura was the dancing wind. So yeah. And now his daughter legitimately plays the violin. And I'd be very shocked if Toa doesn't learn how to play the flute.
I figure if Toa was going to learn how to play an instrument, she would have in the modern era.
Yeah, that's true. And can we just appreciate the fact that Soda married a world-renowned violinist?
Isn't that his girlfriend from the old show?
Yeah. It is.
Also, they keep referring to her as Toa's stepsister, the little May.
Yeah, she technically is.
Not so.
I mean, she's technically her cousin, but they didn't know that.
No, they didn't know that. No, my question is on whether
it's a translation thing.
It's a translation thing, or if she's May's daughter, but not Sota's. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter either way.
It doesn't. Soda wouldn't say anything.
I mean, he already adopted a child when he was, what, 20?
Yeah. It was such a touching moment when she was like, yeah, you're my dad. Thank you, Daddy.
Also, are we going to get a conversation between Shishomaru and Sota?
We need one. That's a conversation I want to have. When he says thank you for raising... Well, he won't thank him.
No.
Or Soda's like, hi. Shomaru's like...
Okay, let's be honest. We'd rather a conversation between Jack and Soda.
Soda would crush Jock. What are you talking about?
I think Setsuna does not know anything whatsoever about anything.
No. Setsuna's completely clueless. Her memories are basically gone, and I have a feeling that her not being able to sleep is eroding her memories more. To the point where she's probably going to end up being a blank slate before they can find the butterfly. There are probably a lot of memories that she doesn't know. Moroha, I want to know exactly everything that's... If Miyoka truly is the one that raised her, what happened to Inuyasha and Kagome? Are they trapped or are they dead? I need to know.
I mean, my theory's dead, and he's got the red pearl as his grave.
And then, if that's really Miroku, which it most likely is, if it's not Miroku, it's his firstborn son who decided to look just like his dad. But either way, if that's really Miroku, what's he been doing besides walking around flirting with people? And where's Sango?
Probably dead.
Probably. Someone's dead. At least one or two people are dead.
Rin's technically dead.
Rin's in stasis. He put her in a cryo tank.
It answered no questions.
Except one.
What question was that?
What is Shishomaru doing?
We still don't know what he's doing.
He's moping in the spirit world. That's what he's doing.
Don't think that counts as an answer.
Also, there was that one scene when the Tree of Ages was explaining things to them when they saw his feet and it turned around. Was that a flashback or was that right then? So was he seeing his kids at that moment or not? Because we saw his feet twice. Once was very much confirmed that he was there.
Yeah.
The first one, was that a flashback or was that
legitimately where things were?
Yeah.
So there was like multiple. There was the real world, there was the spirit world that the girls were in, and then there was another spirit world where Shishomaru was in.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm seeing? There's like 3 levels of worlds right there.
4 actually. But you have the modern era, you have the feudal era, and in between that, you have the Tree of Ages, and the Tree of Ages is starting to look more and more like a portal to the 5th dimension or something. And so they're walking through the Tree of Ages. No, wait, it wasn't even the Tree of Ages because there was a bunch of algae everywhere.
Yeah.
The Tree of Ages was only when they were fighting the demon.
Mm-hmm.
So where were they?
I think that this was like a place where time had no bearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Rin, she went into labor, and then when she wakes up, her children are basically adults.
Her children are 3 years younger than her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take, we don't know exactly the age. It may only be 2.
I'm gonna go with 3. That makes me feel better.
Maybe 4. May only be a year. 15-year-old mothers, which I heard of in feudal Japan.
It wasn't, but I don't think Shishomaru would.
And you're basing this upon what? He's 19. He's 19 mentally and physically.
What is your point?
That 19-year-old boys are stupid?
Well, he is moping around the spirit world.
Yeah, this is like very on brand for a 19-year-old losing his first love.
Technically his second love?
Not really.
Yeah, really.
No.
He didn't do anything with Kagura, but he was still...
He had a mild interest at best.
It was mild enough to be there when she died. And be pissed off that someone was making fun of her while she was dying.
That's on brand for him. He would have been pissed off. Okay, as I've said before, he respects people who work hard. Because he's a Hufflepuff. He respects people who work hard. He respects, and he is offended when he sees someone working hard and them getting mistreated.
He also values his relationships really, really hard. I mean,
Yeah.
he flat out gave up. I didn't miss that either. He gave up his title, basically to be with Rin and to walk through the spirit world.
Yes.
He's the definition of an evil kid.
He's 19.
Exactly. I stand by what I said.
He had a mild interest at Kagura at best. Might have grown if there had been opportunity. But there wasn't, and it wasn't to that point yet.
No. And then Rin died for a second time, and he took that not well.
Yeah, see, that's what he actually acts like when someone important to him dies.
Yeah, cries and decides to purify 100 souls for the hell of it.
Yeah. As I said, mild interest in Kagura best.
Oh my goodness.
And honestly, I think that he probably at this time would have done about the same thing if Jochen had died.
That's true. Even though he likes to legitimately step on Jochen.
Yeah, but Jochen likes it. They have a mutual relationship.
They have a platonic.
They have a platonic bondage relationship thing going on.
They really do. Even when Jochen thought he was.
Jochen chose to follow Shishomaru.
Chose to keep following Shishomaru. There's the key word there. Keep following Shishomaru, even after he abused him. He's like, oh, it's fine. He just meant it that one time. And even though he knows Shishomaru was like 3 steps away from killing him.
And there was just something so weird about the time. He was testing. He was teasing. He was testing. He was teasing. It was like,
he was testing. He was testing! Well, Shishomaru, would you really have cut me down? Why, you ungrateful dog! I've seen that episode one too many times.
Yeah, well, no, my point is, teasing? Teasing?
He's a dog.
That's the word you're going to refer to that as? Not abusing, teasing.
I don't think Jochen understands what abuse is.
No, he looks at abuse and he thinks it's something pleasant, which is a whole other kettle of fish I don't want to unpack.
He's a demon, it's fine.
Anyway, my point is, I don't think, other than Rin dying, we've actually seen Shishomaru really upset. Even when Kagura died. I think, and again, he is 19 in his demon age, whatever we want to call that. And giant temper tantrums are very on brand for 19-year-olds. As would be giving up your throne.
To be by the woman you love side, who's dying in a tree. So you decide to walk the spirit world like a little emo kid, waiting for your children to either come kill you and her, or to defeat the one person who can set you both free.
Yes.
This child. I love him so much. Anyways, let's talk about the whole plot to save the world.
What are we saving the world from, exactly?
I don't know. Apparently a black hole. That's what I got.
So it's a black hole.
It's a black hole, basically. Because he's trying to rewrite time and bend time to his will. To make a black hole.
So it's MIROKU'S fault.
He's trying to open a window. He's a Oh my god, what if Miroku got possessed by the demon?
Oh, don't.
Hey, wait. No, because it is kind of canon that Miroku was feeling really, really crappy the fact that he didn't have this crazy wind tunnel powers.
So
he went out
on a mission to try to find a way to regain his wind tunnel and control it, and got possessed by whatever this thing is.
So there's that, or he went on a solo mission trying to regain some excitement and slay a demon by himself to prove he still has it, and got way too in over his head and accidentally got possessed.
So it's all because Miroku had a midlife crisis.
Exactly. I'm like, you could have just gotten a motorcycle like normal people. Instead, you had to get possessed by a literal world-destroying demon.
I actually don't hate this idea.
I don't either.
Because again, there was that, I just realized how weak I am.
Yeah.
Thing going on. So actually, that might have some
bearing on it.
Yeah.
God, this show is gonna hurt us so bad. I mean, it's already hurting. You know, Rin is in stasis and Shishomaru is walking around like a sad, dejected emo kid in the spirit world, trying to save her, and now
I still want to know about Shippo.
Same. Like, there's no mention of him at all, anywhere
whatsoever.
What, did Shippo just get rewritten out completely? He can't.
Well, no, I mean that would not. They wouldn't like write Shippo out. It's going on to my theory. Shippo's gonna be a love interest.
I don't think there's gonna be a love interest.
As reading everything else that she's ever had her hand in, she doesn't know how to not do love interest. Just literally be the first.
If anyone has a love interest, it's gonna be Sasuna. Moroha is too consumed with material things to care about other people besides her cousins, and Toa has a very strong sister complex, so she's not going to accept anyone. And not to mention, Sasuna fits all the criteria for her strong female women who are open to accepting someone, because Sasuna reminds me a lot of Sango.
Yeah.
She is a demon, and it's not just because they're demon slayers, it's because
legitimately she has a personality kind of similar to Sango.
Yeah, she's a strong...
Yeah, and also she's got that same thing that Sango has, where Sango, despite the fact that you could tell, like, underneath she was just a normal girl, and she felt as though she needed to act in a very regal, mature manner.
Yeah.
So, like, every now and then you would get, Sango would do something that wasn't, it's not like it was out of character, but it was out of the character she wanted to project to the world.
Yeah, kind of like Urza from Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Where she is a badass in her own right, but she's also a girl.
Yeah.
And I mean girl, not necessarily a woman, but she was like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Acting her age.
Yeah, like that time that Sango put that leaf on her head that she thought was making her invisible. He was following Miroku around, and he was terrified.
He's like, what are you doing? Shippo's just sitting in the back dying. The ultimate troll. Hello, Shippo. I miss Shippo. Where are you?
Hope he sits in his love interest. That'll be my theory.
That'd be really weird. Depending on what he looks like, but still, that'd be
it'd just be more. It would be more justice if it ended up being Miroha and Shippo, though.
It would be. I don't think Inuyasha will take Shippo being his son-in-law very well. It'd be so funny.
Exactly, it'd be absolutely hilarious. That's 100% the only reason I'd want that. I also just want Shippo, and I want Shippo to come back with being the. I want Shippo to be this show's version of Shishamaru, where every single girl is just obsessed with him, and plenty of guys as well.
Well, they kind of were in Inuyasha if they were his age and they met Shippo.
Exactly. So it would be correct to make it where, yeah.
I'm still thinking about my theory that Miroku is possessed by the demon.
I think you're probably right.
That'd be an interesting dynamic, that Miroku and Shishomaru.
And it would explain how come the entire gang split up and tried to separate from each other, because they could because if he was actually legitimately possessed with the memories of Miroku in him, then he would know how to find the gang and their weaknesses. So for the kids' own safety, they legitimately might have, abandoned them. That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Because if they are running from one of their own, because one of their own is evil, or / wanting them dead.
And trying to legitimately use them to take over the world.
Then it would explain why the girls were not raised by other members of the gang.
And why they kept them separate.
Why they kept them separated,
they are about the same age. What if there was like a prophecy or something about those three?
And there could have. This might have not been the first time the Tree of Ages reached out. Because I can see the Tree of Ages reaching out to Kagome.
Definitely, it's done it before.
Yeah.
Multiple times. That's how she found out about her name Kagome being an entire superpower. Even though it was with a priestess, but it's semantics. But yeah. We've been talking for almost 30 minutes straight, and we never said our names. Anyways, this was just an analysis, mostly like staring at the ceiling though, because I don't know how to hold a camera yet, of our thoughts on Yashahime. Tune in next week for this episode of Dragon Ball Z.